Hi, lollies. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you'll be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of ours. You guys are the real
So
MVP.
lovely. So
So
I came across this video on my For You, and I thought to share where my gas supporters are actually regretting their vote. It goes as far as to talk about how, okay, they have actually accepted the fact that they were lied to. They were asking people about the way forward. How are they going to correct all of their mistakes? How are they going to do to eradicate whatsoever that is going on right now in the country? And I was able to put up some stitches. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. Alright, lovelies, let's start.
Hey everybody, Rich coming to you here at leavingmaga.org. I want to make a particular appeal today to MAGA Americans. I really don't believe that what is happening in our country now is something that you want. But I understand that it's not a natural act for us to admit that we believed lies and that we acted upon them and that we allowed those lies to shape our being and our personhood and our identity. And Leaving MAGA does not judge you. We do not ostracize those who have doubts. You are welcome with us at our community. And for friends and family who are out there who have friends and family in MAGA, we are here for you as well for support. Make sure that you follow us at our socials, leavingmaga.org. Get on our newsletter. Make sure you're subscribing. Empathy is much more preferable than scorn. Thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate your support.
My name is Myron. I am a conservative, a senior citizen, and a Vietnam veteran, and I voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020. In 2020, Trump claimed that the election had been stolen, and I donated to his Stop the Steal campaign. In fact, I continue to receive mail such as this just yesterday from Trump. January 6, 21 changed my opinion, and I began to read and learn who the man really is. Upon reviewing the damage that Trump has caused within weeks of his new administration to our country and the world, I am thankful that I did not vote for Trump in 24. I am happy that I decided to leave MAGA. Thank you.
Well, we got a full-on constitutional crisis now. The Supreme Court ordered the Trump administration to facilitate the return of that guy from El Salvador, and the Trump administration is saying he's in the full custody of El Salvador. They can't get him back without even trying, which is what the Supreme Court ordered them to do. So now we have the president completely denying and ignoring the Supreme Court. So if you're a MAGA person at this point, you can stop bringing up the Constitution ever, because Donald Trump is straight up ignoring the Constitution right now. He's completely ignoring the Supreme Court. And if he can do this to a legal resident, a person who was here legally and is married to an American citizen, what's to stop him from grabbing any American citizen and sending them to El Salvador and then being like, well, they're in El Salvador's custody now. There's nothing I can do about it. The answer is nothing. There's nothing to stop him from doing this to American citizens. And if you're okay with that, it's time to just admit you're a fascist.
I just watched a video of a guy who was confused as an illegal immigrant and he was deported. Now, all the Republicans are going to say, no, he was an MS-13, he was a violent gang member, he came here illegally. Okay, if that's true, deport him. But what if it's not true? What if we're making a mistake? Not everyone. But what if we're making a mistake with a handful of people? Then that's wrong. This is why we have to have conversations with Democrats. And this is why Democrats need to stop being so argumentative, so controversial, so irrational, and so like rage baiting, insulting, because we don't want to hear out anyone who's always screaming at us and having a temper tantrum. Conversations will change the world. And here's the truth about what Democrats are saying. How do we know that we're actually deporting illegal immigrants? Because they don't have an ID, because they have a tattoo that's kind of similar to some sort of gang from Central America, South America? That's not good enough, man. Like, we need to know for sure. And you can't tell me that Donald Trump is 100% right, that ICE is 100% right about this. You can't tell me, because no one's perfect. But we have to be perfect on this, and we have to get back to putting our differences to the side so we can have a conversation, because this is a big problem, guys.
I just wanted to hop on here really quick and say, when people are sharing about the SAVE Act and saying that Republican women want their husbands to vote for them and that they really essentially want household voting, and the Republican pundits and talking heads are refuting that and saying, oh, that's absolutely outrageous. Hi, my name is Stefania, and I left MAGA in 2021. I was a MAGA evangelical, so I was in the church, which is literally the core cult of MAGA. And long story short, I wanted my husband to vote for my household. I was absolutely okay with that because I believed it was my job to submit to my husband. He was the head of the household, and therefore, why would I need to vote? He can just as easily vote for all of us. I wanted that, and I was MAGA, and that is how I can tell you with confidence that MAGA women support this bill, and in fact, they are trying to thwart the process by making sure they have their passports up front. Ask me how I know. I just wanted to hop on here.
Yeah, so to the Indian immigrants and naturalized citizens in my comment section claiming I was just fear-mongering and that deportations of legal immigrants would never happen.
Homegrown's the next. The homegrown's built. You got to build about 5 more places.
Yeah, that's big.
All right. It's not big enough.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. So this is a much different office than you're.
He means you. You're homegrown. You're a citizen. You are homegrown. You're next. You're the person he's going to send to a prison in El Salvador next, without due process, without a criminal conviction. You're the person who, when the Supreme Court says you got to return him, he's going to say, no, I don't. No, I don't. You're next. You're next. How do you defend this? How do you even begin to defend this? No criminal conviction, no charges. They admitted that they shouldn't have deported him. He had a status that protected him. What do you think homegrown means? I don't even know where to begin with this. This is the beginning and the ending. This is all of it.
How confident you feeling now?
I spent time last night talking to someone that had left MAGA, and I wanted to know how they got into it and how they got out of it. And they grew up in a conservative area, and their family was conservative. I don't know that they were really religious, but the father was very pro-life, aggressively so. And so he's like, that's all I knew about that. And to me, it felt like you had to vote for Trump if you cared about babies. He goes, because to me, that was murdering children, which in a cult, that's what it is. And so when you hear arguments from the other side, it's just people that don't care about murdering babies, so you don't entertain the thought. And I said, well, how did you reconcile things with, Trump not being a good person? And he said, well, anytime someone said he was a racist or he was homophobic and stuff, he goes, my brain would pick up any time that he had done something that sounded the opposite. And then that was just enough because my brain needed him to be the one that protected the babies because I didn't have another option. And so I said, so you felt like you were a good person doing the right thing, saving these babies? He's like, well, of course, because that's all I knew. And that's kind of the point, though, is from their side, they think they're doing good. They really do. And it's hard to see from the outside. And it's like, well, we've explained to them, well, let's talk about souls, Some of us have a real opinion about there not being souls. They're not going to listen to that. So that baby is a soul to them, and they are saving that baby. And what we say about it doesn't matter much, especially if you're yelling at them and just calling them names. So you only care about them, it's just they can't hear it. So he said he had an uncle that was pro-choice. And he had to spend some time with him. He was an older uncle, and he said he really took apart all the beliefs that I had. And I said, now I want to ask you something. I said, was he, grouchy and aggressive with you or kind of laugh at you when you share your opinions? Or was he very respectful and kind and patient with you? And did you feel safe? And he said, that's exactly the environment it was. It was simply he wasn't going to allow his nephew to go through life believing lies. And so he was going to do what he needed to spend the time with me to make sure I broke through that. He said, so he'd break down all that stuff. And I said, now, if he'd attacked you or made fun of you or told you were stupid, could you have hurt him? And he's like, I would have shut down immediately because I would have been embarrassed or thought I was stupid or that he was a liar. He's like, I mean, it could have gone a lot of different ways. He goes, but he was so kind with me that it just diffused my fight or flight with him. So I could hear him and I trusted him, so I didn't think he would try and, lead me astray. And he goes, and it is very embarrassing when you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, and he says, so you have to work through that too. And I said, he said, but he also was playful about it. Like if he wanted to joke about, how they all dress alike or MAGA, like the personality of what MAGA is, like he'd be playful about that. Like we could poke fun at that. And he said, so then that kind of allowed me to laugh about what I had done and what I'd been a part of, as opposed to look at that, look what you did. It was more like, oh, aren't you glad you don't have to wear the hats anymore? And why don't those people, And so it was more like that. So he goes, so it was information, it was kindness, and it was also playfulness. And I just thought this was a really interesting conversation because, he wasn't born into it by religion, but that doesn't mean people don't have really conservative beliefs, and especially about abortion. That's a very tricky one, especially when they think they are doing the right thing, because most of them do.
Guys, I know we're all exhausted, but can you please keep calling your senators? If you voted for Trump, but you claim that you're not MAGA, this is the time to stand up. It's been the time, but it's really time. And if you're a Democrat and you're thinking oh, all of this sucks, there's stuff that you can be doing. It takes 2 seconds. It's not scary. There's a million scripts out there, and it's really so easy. And you can call after hours and leave a voicemail if you don't want to talk to somebody. I'm going to tag Jess Craven in the caption. She's always got scripts. You can download the 5 Calls app. You literally press 2 buttons and read a paragraph. No action that each one individual person takes is going to be the thing that changes the movement. It's a collective of all of us working together to make change. So it's really important that you don't stop calling people, writing people, showing up. I know I sound like a broken record, but I just think that we're all exhausted, and it's okay to take a little bit of a break, but I don't know. It doesn't really take much mental capacity to make a couple phone calls and leave a couple voicemails during the day or after hours, so that you just leave a voicemail.
We officially have a dictator. No more will he be a dictator? Oh, yep, he's here. The Supreme Court made a ruling and Trump said, nah, I'm not going to do that. The Supreme Court is the ultimate law in this country, okay? And it was a 9-0 vote. All 9 justices agreed. 6 of them are conservative judges, and they all agreed that this man was deported accidentally, that he is in the country legally, he's not a criminal, he has never been charged with a crime, and that he needs to be returned to this country. And Trump is like, nah. And Trump is calling him a criminal on TV. For what? He's not a criminal. I wonder how the MAGAs feel about this, although honestly, most of them are really fucking stupid, so a lot of them are probably happy. I think the real question is, what side are they going to take in the Civil War? Are the MAGAs going to be stupid enough to fight with the elite, or are they going to fight with everybody else? I guess we'll find out really soon.
Hey everyone, Rich coming to you here at leavingmaga.org. I wanted to just make a quick comment about these recent published reports about RFK and the measles and children dying in the vaccine. The acceptance of avoidable deaths, suffering, and trauma was a line of demarcation I could not cross, and it was one of the primary reasons that I left MAGA. And as we can see, that acceptance still exists right now.
So you all have an emotional breakdown after not listening to what people that look like me have been trying to tell you guys for a very long time. It is very, very easy to regret, but when you are actually exhibiting those actions, you were warned about it, right? You were warned. You were told and warned several times, but because you allowed yourself, you allowed your variances, you allow your selfishness. I even use that word because I don't even think it has to even do with selfishness. It has to do with a power that you want to just be in control of. And now all of the things are going backwards right now. Things are going bonkers right now. I like the fact that, one of the MAGA supporter was all out talking about how no one is perfect. Oh my God, let's call a spade a spade. I thought that they were all ones, trying to defend anything that Orange Man has to do. I thought they were all out like anything he does, he is just all correct. Anything he does, he's doing that for the betterment of everyone. I thought that was what these guys were up to before. You know, it is actually so impossible for you to deny the fact that whatsoever thing that is going on is not right within God and man. No matter how you want to actually paint it, no matter how you want to defend it, no matter how you want to claim right, like it is good to actually call a spade a spade. And I'm so impressed with the fact that even if he's not totally trying to accept the fact that though they have actually effed around, he's all out talking about how no one is perfect. Oh, Democrats were actually right this time around. No, they have been right. They have been right for a long time. And you were talking about how them crashing out and speaking and shouting and all of that. No, they are doing that because you guys refuse to listen. They are trying to let you understand what you are refusing to see, what you are all blind. No, you are not even blinded about it. What you are allowing yourself to do. This is why it's as if, it's as if they are all out crashing out. They are not crashing out. That's stating the obvious, and they're just trying to let you know because you are pretending as if you don't know what is going on. So, with them trying to let you understand this is exactly what is going on, you feel that they are crashing out or they are, oh my God, what are they doing? No, like seriously, lovelies. Like, this is something that was actually avoidable. It was something that was avoidable. Look at this young man that was actually deported to El Salvador. And now, people don't even know the whereabouts of this man. People don't know his whereabouts. Someone was like, maybe he's been unalived. Someone was like, since they are trying, they wanted him to, like, I think the judge was like, he needs to get deported back. But they are not allowing that. These people are the set of people that don't follow the rules and regulations. They are above everyone. They don't listen to anyone. They do whatsoever they want to do. And this is exactly what you guys voted for. This is exactly what you want. And now that things are going bankrupt, it's affecting you individually. Now you're beginning to see what these people that complain a lot have been saying for a very long time. And you were like talking about how the way at which they yell and crash out. They are probably doing that because you are refusing to listen and to see the reality in front of you. Like, that is just it. That is just it. Everyone is actually suffering right now. Everyone is seeing the repercussion of their actions. The only thing sometimes I feel bad for is the fact that so many people who never contributed to whatsoever that is going on is actually facing the dancing, is actually dancing to the rhythm of the music, right? They're also going to face what you have caused. Just imagine getting deported for no just cause. And you are meant to be in the midst of, and now, like, what is really going on, lovelies? Like, seriously, it's actually getting scary each and every person. If they can do something like this and get away with it, what makes you think that every other person is safe, What makes you think so? The only thing I have to say here is, my brothers and sisters, it is time to just be so careful, so cautious, mind the people you mingle yourself with. Be very, very alert of your surroundings. Try to disassociate yourself when you see that they are about plotting some tricks, because the way at which it is a period whereby people can do things and get away with it with no form of repercussion, with no form of any, they have dismantled a lot, and a lot is going to be dismantled. Like, seriously, lovelies. Anyways, when I saw this, I thought that I was just going to put it up here For them to finally have an emotional breakdown means that they are beginning to understand the gravity of their choices. Anyway, lovelies, leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Like this video and share your thoughts in the comment section. And I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.
Thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.